Welcome to USA News. Today, we're diving into former President Donald Trump's bold promises to cut taxes, aiming to save American households thousands of dollars each year. Trump didn't hold back in criticizing President Joe Biden's leadership, blaming the surge in energy prices for driving inflation to record highs. He's committed to making America energy independent again, with a plan to slash energy costs by 50% to 60%, which he believes will lead to lower prices across the board. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest news.
We'll just jump right in. Before we jump into the economy, I do want to know, this was considered an intimate policy discussion. Do you see yourself doing more of these types of events as compared to rallies?
Well, it's thousands of people in a beautiful place, and you had a lot of thousands of people outside. So we'll do a combination of both. This was really on the economy largely and crime. But we enjoyed it. They enjoyed it. It's very important.
The economy is the number one issue to voters, again, in a big way, especially that includes swing voters in very crucial swing states like North Carolina. They want specific economic policy promises. Specifically, what can you tell me what the average American household can save per month, per year under another Trump tax cut?
Well, they'll be per year, they'll be saving many thousands of dollars. We're going to bring energy prices down to a level that they haven't seen since 4 or 5 years ago. We were energy independent. We were going to soon be energy dominant. We'll have energy prices down. I believe we'll have them cut by 50% and even more. And that's going to bring everything else down, automatically bring everything else down. They destroyed this country with their energy policies. That's what originally created inflation, and then it just took over with groceries and everything else. It just became a horrible hornet's nest. But we'll be bringing energy down by 50, 60%. That's a lot. And with a year, maybe a year and a half at the most.
Kamala Harris could inherit what's called the middle and working class tax credit from the Biden administration. This is just a proposal that would save American families, according to that, $6,000 a year, or bring in $6,000 a year. That they would repeal your 2017 tax law to do that. How does that make you feel, and how does someone from Western North Carolina take all of that in?
Well, they'll be paying 3 and 4 times more taxes if they do. I got the largest tax cut that has been given, bigger than Reagan, bigger than anybody. And it expires fairly shortly into the next administration. If they cut that, if they don't do anything with it, if they don't extend it or do something with it, the people of North Carolina will pay 4 times more tax than they're paying right now. And I would say politically that would be a death bell for them, but they've done a horrible job. I don't think they understand what's happening. She's a radical left person from San Francisco. She's ruined San Francisco. She's ruined, as the Attorney General, she really had a lot to do with the ruination of California. You see what's going on. Gavin Newsom, the governor, is a disaster, but I think she was maybe even more of a factor in hurting it. You take a look at San Francisco. 15 years ago, it was one of the best cities in the world, and today it's barely livable. And we're not going to let that happen to North Carolina. We're not going to let that happen to the rest of the country. We just won't let it happen.
One more on this. Kamala Harris says her day one promise, if elected, would be attacking price gouging in America to help with daily expenses. What is Donald Trump's day one promise?
Well, there's no such thing as her going out and doing that. What you want to do is create the incentives so that people can't cheat, they can't price gouge. And the way you do that is drill for oil and get everything down, and all of a sudden people can't do that. They can now because there's such a scarcity of everything. You can price gouge. But when there is an abundance of everything, from food to oil and gas, from energy of every kind, there'll be no price gouging. There won't be, because there won't be any way they could get any money for it.
You said just a short time ago, the economy in your mind may not be the biggest topic happening right now. Why did you say that, and what would you say it is?
Well, it seems to be the economy if you look at polls, but I also think it's the border. It's millions and millions of people coming into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions, and even insane asylums where they're closing up all over the world, not just in not just South America, sadly, it's all over the world. This is coming in from Africa, from Asia, from the Middle East. And also you have large numbers of terrorists coming in like we've never seen. We have more terrorists coming into our country now than we've ever had, ever in history. And this is a bad thing. We have thousands of terrorists coming into our country, some really bad ones. And this is not a good thing. They're going to have to get out. We're taking them out. We're deporting every one of them. We have to. We're taking out the criminals. Again, they come in from jails and they come in from mental institutions. And if you look at the countries from where they come, their crime rate is way down. And we're looking, I'm looking at our cities. Migrant crime is through the roof, and it's violent crime with the knives and the guns. It's violent crime. And it's going to happen here, too. It's going to happen everywhere.
One more, and I want to ask how you're doing after what happened a month ago. Western North Carolina is filled with beautiful farms, strawberries, watermelons, Christmas tree farms. It is reliant on migrant workers. How do you balance strict border enforcement and make sure that these farmers are taken care of?
Well, we want a lot of people to come in. We just want them to come in through a legal system. We want to make sure they're not murderers. They're not drug dealers and all of the people that are pouring in right now. A big percentage of the people that are coming in right now are major criminals coming out of jail. They're not letting their best people come in. They're taking people out of jails. They're emptying their jails into our country. They're emptying all of this into our country. When you look at Venezuela, where their crime is down 72%, it was Caracas, all these cities where you couldn't walk across the street, and now they're becoming actually safe cities. And they're not finished. They're getting all of their people from jails. They're dumping them into our country. So I want, and I fully understand your question, I want people to come in, but they have to be checked. They have to be vetted. We have to make sure they're going to love our country.
Western North Carolina could be the key to winning the state of North Carolina. North Carolina could be the key to winning the entire election. What are your thoughts on winning? This is a state you won with under 50% of the vote in 2020. What are your thoughts on winning North Carolina?
Well, we won it pretty well and pretty easily twice. We won, if you look at the primaries, we won them very easily too. Sometimes you'll have a lot of people running, a lot of people in there, but we won them quite easily. I think I'm helped by Laura Trump, who's, as you know, born here, named her child Carolina. So, Carolina is a very cute child, named after a certain place that we happen to be in right now. So I just think that we're going to do very well. I think I am helped by somebody that is a fantastic mother and wife to my son, Eric. And I think that gives me a big advantage. But they like me. They like my policies. They want to remain solvent. We're a country right now with us of common sense. We can be conservative. We are conservative, all of that. But we're really, more than anything else, we want to be, and we're the party of common sense. We want a wall. We want low taxes. We want a strong military. We want great things. And they don't have them anymore. What they're doing is unbelievable. They're destroying our country. And just like California has been destroyed, just look at California. People are leaving California. They're moving out of California. Just like San Francisco, where she was, is just absolutely a disaster. We're not going to let them do that to our country. We're a party of common sense.
Last question, Mr. President. 1 month ago, an attempted assassin tried to take your life. How are you feeling right now so the voters know? What are your thoughts about that?
Well, it was a terrible thing. It was amazing. God was watching over me because it was a miracle. If I didn't turn a certain way at a certain time, it was, no chance. And it's very much a miracle. For those that don't believe in God, I think you'll start believing in God when you see that. A lot of people have actually felt that. It was a very terrible day. A lot was learned. We lost a great person in Corey. We have 2 other people that were very badly hurt, weren't really expected to live, and they are living, and they're going to be okay. They're going to be fine. Well, pretty fine, I think, in one case, and absolutely fine in the other. But it was a terrible day. To me, it was just a terrible moment. Obviously, from my standpoint, it was a very dangerous moment. But the way the crowd came together, when bullets are shot in a stadium, we had tremendous thousands and thousands of people there. You saw the people in the back, but there were thousands of people. and nobody ran. They say when a bullet goes off in a stadium atmosphere, everybody stampedes. They call it stampedes. And the bullets went off, a lot of them, 8 of them went off, and then you had the sniper, our Secret Service sniper, with 1 bullet, found him and shot him. There was a lot of bravery displayed, a lot of things happened, but they're going to have to learn something. And I'm sure they have. But it was an interesting moment. It was a terrible moment, I think, for our country. But in another way, we learned a lot. It was I think you learned a lot about God, if you want to know the truth. I really believe that, because it was an instant of a second that it had to be, out of all the time that we're talking about, the one moment where I was in a certain position was just a fraction of a second. So I look up, I say, thank you, God.